Now, when dog training goes wrong, it's always one of three things. Number one, it's the skill. And it's going to start with your skill. Your skill as a dog trainer to convey to your dog how to do exactly what you want them to do without having any kind of bribery or reinforcement on them. Can they do what you expect them to do? And in order for them to be brilliant, I'm sorry, my friend, you have to be brilliant. You really have to start to learn more about not just how to train, sit down and come, but the understanding of what motivates a dog, of how a dog's fears impact their behavior. So number one is skill, and your expectation of your dog's skill and your expectation of yourself in learning how to convey that skill to your dog. Number two is environment, and that is the environment that you're asking your dog to do whatever behavior it is, an environment that you've trained in and hasn't changed for the dog. Is this a fair environment? Because keep this in mind, environment always wins. It doesn't matter who the dog is. If there's nothing to compete against the environment, AKA the skill level that you've put in, environment always wins. So environment is going to produce some surprise for the dog that is going to have them say, yeah, there's more value over here than there is over there, unless you have put in the skill to have that dog change their mind. Now, what is the third factor? And the third factor is will. And this one is a little bit controversial because to me, my dog's will to do what I ask them to do is all dependent on my ability to inspire that dog through motivational games, to want to have a relationship with me, to want to be my teammate, to want to hang out with me. And so that isn't a given. Now, for some of you, maybe it has been. And bravo to you. But I don't believe the expectation should be. Now, some people say if the dog chooses to not do something, they're being willful. Their will is saying, I'm not choosing that, therefore I need to go to coercion. I don't believe that's necessary. I believe we can use whatever that dog loves, even something from the environment, as a reinforcer to build the will to want to work with you. So critical elements to all dog training. Your expectations of your dog, your expectations of yourself. Because I'm just going to remind you this, and I know you've heard it from me before if you're a regular listener. I believe our dogs will always do the best they can with the education we've given them, AKA the skill, in the environment that we've put them in. They're always going to do the best. So if they run after a rabbit when you expected them to come when they were called, that is their best. It isn't them being willful or stubborn or blowing you off. It's the best they can do in the presence of a rabbit right now. All that you need to do is say, wow, my expectation might have been a little out of whack, and I need to dig deeper into this a game-based training that Susan Garrett talks about. Now, when you think of your own dog, whatever stage of development that they are in right now, you've got to think about the training of both the skills you want for them to be an amazing family pet and the emotional well-being conditioning that you need to put in time so that you are building positive CERs, positive conditioned emotional responses to environments that they need to go to, including the veterinarian or maybe the groomers. They need to be given the opportunity to say, yes, I want my nails done. And no dog that I know of is born that way. You have to grow your education to put in the time to help that dog, no matter what stage they are, to grow not just behaviors. It's not just about coming when called and bringing you the paper. And it's not just about whatever sport you want to play. It's about putting that dog's emotional well-being first. I want you to be able to have the kind of life I'm talking about. I mean, it's magical. It's magical when you look through the lens of what are my expectations of my dog? How can I have high expectations because I know my dog's will is as high as my expectations.